ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope that you guys had a great weekend and that your week has started well and that you had a good Monday if that's at all possible. So I can see you guys in the live chat room. Thank you for joining me tonight. In there, early shout outs, we have Mary, Debbie, Tammy, Billy, Laura, Dawn, Terry, Pink Thistle, Charlie, Bev, Ro, Karen's in there as well, Corey, Bev, Kathy, Anna, and Terry as well, maybe 321, Julesy, and Jeff in there, Vera as well. Hello, thank you guys for joining me tonight. So, as has been the case over the last couple of months, maybe, we've been trying to get new records on the live streams from a thumbs up perspective, and tonight is no different. So we're going to be attempting a new record for likes on a Tuesday night live stream, and it means that it's now set at 465, which is a crazy number, but if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated. And just looking at that, I think maybe I'm going to take a gamble and say that we're going to be on Phil Jam number 132, because I don't think I changed that from last time. So anyway, if we hit the target tonight, then we will have a Phil Jam, whether it's number 132 or not. And I'm going to have a look over here to see that Joe has messaged me, and it is Phil Jam number 132. So anyway, in order to get there, we have a long journey ahead of us, because we need 465 people to click on that thumbs up. So we will keep an eye on the likeometer, which I will get up on screen. Of course, when we start the live stream, everything moves around just to make things a little bit more difficult, but I have now just reset it and moved it so that we can see the likeometer at 215 likes so far, which is great. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. And it means that we were looking for 250, maybe, more likes from that number that I had before. And then it changed, but that'll be the maths done for tonight. So let me get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they make this all possible in the first place. You guys know who you are, and they are the foundation of everything that I do. As I always say, the whole reason I can do the live streams and the analysis videos and everything is because of these lovely people at the bottom of the screen. So thank you guys for your support and for requesting to open up tonight with Running Blind and the cover videos for the live streams as well, because tonight it's between Miles Away and The Power of Love, and that's Huey Lewis and the News. If you haven't seen it before, my cover of that particular song, because there are other songs called The Power of Love and Power of Love. So yes, that's the vote for tonight, and it looks like Wingers Miles Away is in the lead, but only by 1%, so it might be a close one tonight. Right, we are going to be attempting to continue the live streams as we normally do. Obviously, it all depends on Gremlins and whether they like to get involved or not, but the technical Gremlins have been okay, and I'm always suspicious when the setting up of the live stream goes well, because it means that there might be a catastrophic failure at some point during the live stream. So yeah, we will see what happens. Fingers crossed for it, but yeah, hopefully you can hear me and see me and everything's fine. It seems to be working. We seem to be live on YouTube at the moment and the levels are okay as well. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it, and I know you guys do like to let me know when anything's going wrong, as long as I look into the live chat room to see the comments, but I can see you guys in there. So we will also get up on screen, as we normally do, the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. Maybe hitting the thumbs up is even greater. And just introduce yourself in the live chat room so that we can get to know each other, and I get to know your usernames as well. And then if you are a Facebook user, you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. And if you've got any pictures of you modelling any merch, quick plug of the mug, and the merch if you want to get your hands on any of it, there's a tray underneath this video, but there's also a link in the description below if you don't have a tray underneath this video. But yeah, you can get your hands on that, take a picture, upload it to that Facebook group, join in there, and then I will get linked to that by Laura, and we can have a look at you on the live stream rather than looking at me the whole time. Right. There have been donations already, so thank you guys for those. Like I said, you don't have to donate, but for those people that can't resist, I think it's important that you know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, and you can find one of those in the description below. But Paul donated $5, so thank you for that, Paul, and the message was awesome. 360k subscribers. Let's have fun tonight. Spike those likes, all y'all. Which reminds me, I mean, it's another crazy number, but we've gone up to 360,000 subscribers. So, yeah, when we go up by 1,000, I mean, that's already a lot of people. But going up another, what, 5? So I tend to look at it as in 350 and then 355 and now 360. So, yeah, we're going in the right direction, which is great. And things had calmed down a little bit on the channel. Let me just shut everybody up. But things had slowed down a little bit since the video on the Eagles live performances and all of that kind of stuff. And I think the last video that we looked at was the comparison about saying that, old voices, and in this particular case, it was Judy Garland's voice that we're looking at from 1939, if memory serves me correctly, and comparing that to Kelly Clarkson's voice from, I think, it's really recent. It might have only been a matter of months ago. But anyway, it was just using that as an example to show how pitch correction's now the industry standard, which means it's going to get applied to everything. Whereas back in the day, you actually got to hear the voice and it wasn't tuned to a particular tuning system, such as A440 standard tuning. So you got to hear the vocalist's voice and how they edited their pitch, you know, with what they're singing to, and in accordance with what they're singing to. Because now, in that particular video, I showed that the guitar was actually flat of a particular note, and it means that the vocal is now tuned to something that even the guitar wasn't accurate with. So it's kind of just setting the voice by itself, so it's got no relevance to anything anymore. So anyway, that was an interesting video to look at, and I don't know, when I say things have slowed down on the channel, I'm just going to have a look on my phone to see, because I think they slowed down for a little bit, but that video has had 118,000 views. So yeah, that one's been seen by a few people as well, and that wasn't last night. It is Sunday night. So yeah, a couple of nights ago. So yeah, lots of people interacting with that video, which is great. And I think for a lot of people, it's just the realization that the voices. But I mean, I know that's going back a long way to 1939, but in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. All of those voices are now standalone. So if you want to hear voices like those nowadays, you have to just listen to them rather than being able to listen to another artist that is like them or has the same vocal ability, because you'll never really be able to tell, because now everyone's pitch corrected. So yeah, obviously that has hit a chord with a lot of people and they're watching it, which is great. But it's always good to compare voices as well, especially where it's obvious that one is a natural voice and one is literally tuned and put on lines, because yeah, it certainly takes something away. Well, it's literally taking away the ability of the singer and the way that they hit notes, because that's a huge part of it, because some singers naturally hit notes slightly sharp, slightly flat, but now it's getting rid of that pitch identity effectively and just putting everyone on lines. So yeah, bit of a shame, but interesting video nonetheless to take a look, especially back at The Wizard of Oz, which is a favorite movie of mine, and it still blows my mind that was 1939. So when I say about things being almost 100 years ago, and Yeah, that to me would fall in that bracket. And I know that I've mentioned that before. And then some people, or at least maybe one or two people, maybe they're trolls, maybe they're not. Not that this is a troll corner thing, but. And as for Troll Corner, not sure if we'll do a Troll Corner tonight because I can't remember any. But just this comment with somebody saying, oh, how can you say that this was almost 100 years ago? It isn't. So then I've replied to them saying that, well, and the video that they were talking about was 1933 or 1935 or something. And I said in the video that it's almost 100 years ago. And they said, how can you say that? It's not. And then I replied that, well, to me it is, because I think that if we're just splitting the difference, so say that it was 1933 or 1935, let's say it was 90 years ago. In my mind, that's almost 100 years. It's a lot closer to 100 years than 75 years, which is another, anniversary of things that people might celebrate, or 50 years. So, yeah, being 90 years, I would class that as almost 100 years. So to those people that have commented saying, why are you lying? It's like, well, that's my opinion. I think it is almost 100 years ago. So anyway, 1939. I mean, amazing just because of, well, the movie in itself just being a movie that really does stand the test of time. And when you think about it, I think certainly myself, I don't think of it of being from the 1930s. It almost strikes me like a 1960s kind of movie because it was, that well done and that well shot, and everything else about it. There was just such an engaging movie because back in there, back in the 1930s, you almost think, or my mind goes back to, being proper black and white and. Maybe having the silent movies and all that kind of stuff. That's probably, further back. And I know that we've looked at performances from the 1930s that are moving images. So I'm not talking about just looking at pictures. So, yeah, but to me, it just seems like so much more of a modern film than it was, or at least when it was filmed. So I'm saying being ahead of its time. But anyway... that was an interesting video to take a look at, and it's had a few views, so thank you guys for watching that, interacting with it, hitting the thumbs up, and for hitting the thumbs up tonight as well. We are going to be pushing for this target of 465 throughout the whole live stream, because it would be a new record for a Tuesday night, so it means that we need every single thumbs up that we can muster. So if you're just tuning in now, if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be great. Right, there have been donations in the PayPal window. I haven't mentioned Orlando's one yet in the Super Chat window, so thank you for that, Orlando. It's a $2 donation saying, can we hit that like button? So thank you for that, Orlando. Good question. Hopefully the answer is affirmative. We're going to be jumping over to the PayPal window as well. Whenever I say affirmative, I think of Newt from Aliens. The movie, so that's the second one. That's the second one. Aliens and not Alien. But yeah, because she says affirmative, that was by no means supposed to come out like an impression of Newt from Aliens. But there you go, there it was. But yeah, a very cute kid, and what a movie that was another movie ahead of its time. Alien. That was just. A totally standalone movie, and yeah, that would have been great to go and watch that when it first came out because of the type of movie it was and being that kind of space horror mix and everything. So yeah, but anyway, I don't know why I started talking about aliens, but just the affirmative reminds me of that. So, and also, I don't know why I'm getting these random memories. There was some guy on Judge Judy, whenever Judge Judy would say to him about a particular situation, that pertained to the case that they had, he would say affirmative rather than just saying yes or correct. So it is a bit weird. It's very much a military thing that I think of when people say affirmative. But some people use that instead of yes, and everyone can make their own decisions about that, whether they prefer a yes or an affirmative. I'm just a yes person. rather than an affirmative person. But anyway, we're going to be jumping over to PayPal. And, Rose says 1939 was 85 years ago. So thank you for that, Ro. And yeah, when I was saying about the 90 years ago, I was talking about between 1933 and 1935, which was another video that this comment came through on. And I couldn't remember whether it was 33 or 35, so I took the middle of that, which was 34, and therefore said that it was 90 years ago. So that was my thinking behind saying 90 years, because I was referring to that particular video. But yeah, 1939, of course, wouldn't be. But even still, to my mind, I still see that as, wow, that was almost 100 years ago. So anyway, Lucy says, oh my God, they get Judge Judy in the UK. So yes, we do. And it's on a channel called CBS Reality. I think it's something like that. And it's basically wall to wall Judge Judy throughout the day. And then at night, and I don't watch it at night because I'm usually either planning live streams or, editing or filming videos or uploading to YouTube, all that kind of stuff. So during the day, when I'm doing admin, for example, on a Monday or a Thursday, Judge Judy is something that I can have on in the background. Even though there's about 1 million episodes, but because, she's been around for years and I've been watching for years, it means that I've pretty much seen all of them anyway, so it means I can just have it on in the background. But yes, it is pretty much just back-to-back Judge Judy throughout the day on CBS Reality, and they do all kinds of crime shows and investigations and crime scene things. So yeah, I mean, some of those are quite interesting, but yeah, I don't get a lot of time to watch those, unfortunately. But anyway, yes, we do get it here. And I think this series is probably from 2011, something like that. It might be earlier than that. So yeah, it's quite a significantly long time ago. But I know that Judge Judy is still going now. But yeah, it's all the old ones that are being shown on our TV station, that CBS Reality one. But anyway, there have been donations in the PayPal window, so thank you guys for these. And I just want to make sure that I don't miss any out. This one has come through, and there's a long message with this, so I'm just gonna have a little scroll down to make sure that I can kind of get through this. And it's a donation for £7.70 from Intelligent Lifestyles, so thank you for that. And the message is, your knowledge of music theory and application and your brilliant presentation done in a way that doesn't condescend to us beginners is truly appreciated. Great job, Phil. Your patience with the gratuitous greed of YouTube just makes me want to ensure I give you what I can afford every time you have live stream. Rock on, bro. I have learned more from listening faithfully to you over the past 6 months than I did in my entire career in music, some 30 years. So thank you for that. Thank you for the kind words. And this is the great thing, that if some people have, learned something from the videos, that's great as well, because that's what I try to set out to do, is to point out something about performances and voices that maybe people haven't noticed before. And that reminds me of an email that I got from somebody who said that just from watching the videos and not even having vocal lessons or anything like that, even though they enjoyed singing, from watching the analysis videos of great singers' voices, they started to implement some of those things in their voices, and they said that they've been getting comments from people, and they never got comments before, like compliments about their voice. So it's great that, this is why it is great to look at voices in detail for singers. And I know that trolls say, oh, what's the point in analysing music to this detail or to this level? Just enjoy it and accept it. And I always reply to say that, yeah, but some people want to get better at singing and might want to get better at playing the guitar, and they might want to learn these things to then apply to their own singing. So that's how people progress, and that's how the human race progresses, is through analysis, detailed analysis, so that we learn from things and we can adapt and move forward and improve. And that's exactly what had happened with this particular person who emailed me. So it's great that just by looking at a voice in detail, such as the vibrato, the pitch that's covered, the speed of vibrato, sliding from one note to the next, you can start to look at an analysis of one of your favorite singers and see what they're doing and try to implement that in your voice. And of course, you're never going to sound exactly like that person because you've got your own voice. But it means that if you like that style, you can start applying some of these techniques to your vocal. And I think a major part of it is singing where your voice sits and not trying to sing outside of your range. Because I think most people will probably be able to get at least an octave out of their voice, but they start too high. So, especially with guys, as soon as you start getting to G4 and A4, top end of the male tenor range, if you're a baritone, you're not going to be able to get those notes up there. So you can train your voice and you can increase your range and improve your range. But I'm saying, starting out learning to sing, you want to be starting an octave below where you struggle to get to with your high note, or there might be a high note that you can get, but then a little bit higher than that, it is too much. So take it an octave below that, work around that range, and then that for a chorus or for the end note of a song, you can hit that octave higher. So that's a huge part of it, singing in a comfortable range and then working at your range if you want to extend it, but just start with that foundation of just having solid technique and not having to struggle and forcing your vocal cords to do things that they're not ready to do yet, or just singing in a range that your voice isn't in, because everybody's range is different. And this reminds me of a video that I saw from a vocal coach, and this is just a few days ago, but the classic misunderstanding of the voice is that this video was about how to hit high notes, and that will, for guys, be classed as the top end of the male tenor range, so like an A4, maybe even a B4 or a C5, and that's now above that D5, E5, getting into countertenor range. But this is the intro to the vocal coach who's going to be showing you how to do or how to hit high notes. And anyway, it starts like this. Hi guys, so I'm going to be telling you how to, and he's already, and this isn't me like taking the mickey or doing anything like that. It's showing that everybody has a different position that their voice naturally sits in. So if I was talking up here, some people talk up here and that's their natural voice. So it means that they're already significantly higher. Therefore, if you now put an octave on top of that voice, you are going to be getting to D5, E5, even higher, because it's not a strain, because their vocal cords are naturally at that tension just because of how they are. When I say tension, I mean that they are already, hitting high notes in a more relaxed way, because they are vibrating at a higher frequency. So imagine it like a string that is being tightened. Some people's string is tighter naturally than others. So they will be able to hit those high notes. But then again, when you talk about people that have that, and people forget about this, people that have that tension and talking about having a higher speaking note that they're hitting, nobody really looks at it the other way around to think of, but they can't hit low notes. If they were to try and hit a note that, like, I would be able to sing lower than them because I've got a lower voice naturally. But I probably won't be able to sing as high as them because they've got a higher voice. So it's just an important thing to sing where your range is, and don't worry about, somebody who might be hitting a C5, for example, either, might have trained their voice for 30 years and have worked on their range in order to get that, or that to them might be the equivalent to you of an E, like an E4, where you think, I can hit that high note, and they might feel the same, that, they can hit that high note because their voice is naturally higher. So anyway, got into vocals there, but just reminded me of that. But thank you for that donation. We had another one that came through from Todd for £20, so thank you for that, Todd. And the message is, Recalling your critique of staged and auto-tuned acoustic performances, here's from one's home. I thought you might enjoy reacting to someone who doesn't do that. Here is the link. So thank you for that, Todd. So this is a donation with a link. And by the way, you don't have to donate to send me a request for a video. I just put them all on the same list. I know that other YouTube channels demand payment or say that, yeah, if you pay me, then I'll do your video, but that's not how I roll. It's just an even playing field here. If you want a particular song or performance or vocalist to be analysed, then yeah, just let me know and I'll add it to my list. But thank you for that donation, Todd. And Richard has donated £25. So thank you for that, Richard. And that is a straight up donation. And just moving on, Phyllis has donated £5 as well. So thank you for that, Phyllis. And this is another long message. The message is, hi again, Phil. I wanted to ask a question, especially after watching your analysis of Kelly Clarkson / Judy Garland. I donated £30 to the channel on this is 16th of January 2024 and asked you to do an analysis of Dwight Yoakam's I Sang Dixie. I'm even more curious now about whether the vocals were pitch corrected. I didn't know if the amount was enough or if I insulted you, but I haven't heard from you either way. I know your channel is very large and it has a right to be. Please just let me know if I need to send a larger donation to make this happen. I love your channel and your honesty and the refreshing information you share with all of us. Thank you, Phyllis. aka Carolina's Beauty. So thank you for that. And I'm going to say what I just said, that I know that other channels do charge people, but I don't. And this is why I say on the live streams, and I kind of hope that people tune into the live streams because I do address every single donation, but I always say that you don't have to donate, that I just approach everything in exactly the same way, that it's not going to depend on how much you can afford to give me, whether your video or whether your requested analysis gets looked at or not. And yeah, that's something that I don't believe in charging people just to analyze a performance, because every performance is just as valid as the next, and everybody is just as valid as the next person. So yeah, I will get to that particular analysis video. It will be on the list. So yeah, thank you for that, Phyllis. And yeah, you don't have to send me any more money. You don't have to send me any money in the first place. But thank you for that donation. Hopefully you're watching this live stream. What I might try and do, if I can find an email somewhere, I might email you. I can't see anything down here, but maybe if I go into my PayPal account after the live stream, I might be able to get an email address. But yes, I will try and get in contact with you, but hopefully you're watching this, so then you know that it's on the list and I don't charge for any of the analysis videos. And yeah, you don't have to send me any more money, but thank you for that, Phyllis. And there's been another donation. This has come through from Roderick for £3. So thank you for that, Roderick. And that is a straight up donation. And Nicole has donated £25. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. I'm back to Wings of Pegasus. Kiss from France. So thank you for that. And Steve has donated £4.99. So thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, how do guitarists like Hendrix and Townsend control feedback during live performances to make it fit the music? So thank you for that, Steve. And controlling feedback, well, first of all, to get feedback, you're going to need to get a lot of volume, because I'm just imagining people standing in front of their practice amps on a really low volume and wondering why they can't get feedback. So it needs to be loud in order to start to set up that feedback loop, and it's dependent on angles. I mean, what you're trying to do effectively is get, and this is why it has to be loud, get your guitar and the pickups on your guitar, which for all intents and purposes, in a simplistic way, are like tiny microphones, because they are hearing the strings. So when you've got a lot of volume coming at your guitar, you have to angle the pickups, and sometimes it isn't even straight on, sometimes it's a slight angle, but the volume of the amp is coming out and effectively setting up a loop with your pickups on your guitar. So this is why they need to hear the note or the sound to begin with, to then get this loop going from pickups to amp to pickups to amp, and they start reciprocating that signal, which means if you hold the guitar in exactly the same place, it's endless. And this is something that happens on Parisian walkways, and something that Taj Farron does live, and something that I did for my cover video. And a lot of people say, oh, what sustain pedal are you using to get that sustain? And it isn't a sustain pedal. It's literally, I'm not using a pedal. It's just my distorted sound on my guitar. And I stood in front of the amp and got the correct angle in order to set up that feedback loop, and you can just stand there. And as long as you've got an electricity supplied, your electricity supplied to your amp, that's going to keep on going forever. So yeah, unless you move into a different position. And this is another thing that, yeah, if you get feedback and you think, oh yeah, great, and you turn to the crowd, as soon as you change that angle, you're now, imagine like the microphone is in front of, and this is, again, another example, having a PA system where the microphone is in a position and you get that really high squeaky sound that deafens everyone. That's feedback. So I think everyone can relate to that sound. But with guitar, it's slightly different because you can have this feedback sound. As soon as you move, imagine it like a microphone. You've now moved that microphone so it's not hearing that signal as strongly anymore, and you'll lose the feedback. So this is why, going back to the question. So Steve says, how do Hendrix and Townsend control feedback during live performances to fit the music? First of all, to get it to fit the music, it means that it's going to have to be something that's rehearsed so that you know which notes are going to come out. And again, it's all about positioning. This is something that Jimi Hendrix did so well, is that he would know in terms of the setup of his live show, where his amp was, he'd know where he had to be on stage to set up a feedback loop and what angle he would have to hold his guitar and exactly how to control it, and probably exactly which note he's going to get, because he would practice it that much and he would play at volume that much that he started to just make it into an art form. So this is it. Volume and controlling it is all about positioning, understanding your equipment, your guitar, and where you have to be on stage in order to set up that loop. Once you've set up that loop, it's then a case of not moving or minimizing your movement as much as possible. Unless somebody's using a pedal that is giving you an artificial sustain to the guitar, you're never going to get somebody getting natural sustain through feedback who's running around on the stage, because they have to be in that particular position to keep that loop going. So yeah, something to look out for, that if you think, and sometimes it happens organically and it's amazing. And I remember talking to Phil Palmer about this when he's playing with Bryan Adams, and it was, I think, Everything I Do It For You. So he was performing with Bryan Adams, and there was the solo, of course, in that song has to be, or at least Brian said to Phil, that it's got to be exactly like the record. But on the record, it's almost borderline feedback. You know, even though it's a really clean tone. So it's almost like a mix of things that are opposites, trying to get a cleanish sound, but something that's on the edge of maybe giving you some feedback. So anyway, long story short, yeah, Phil was on stage, was playing the performance with Bryan Adams, and at the end of his solo, it naturally started to feedback. So he got this feedback from the guitar, and Phil said, you know, it wasn't something that he was intentionally trying to do, it just happened organically. So then you get that, you know, 1 in a million moment on stage that was part of that live performance that, you know, would be really difficult to replicate again live, because I'm sure if Phil tried to do it, then, you know, he might not be able to do it because he's trying to do it. But it just so happened that on the night, the angle was exactly right, the way that he was playing, in order to get that feedback, and it's just, yeah, perfect. So that's another side of it. But certainly, yeah, with Jimi Hendrix, as Phil would say about Jimmy, that he just had this ability to control that feedback, yeah, in exactly the way that he wanted to for that live performance. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. Again, the technical aspects of feedback and Jimi Hendrix's ability. I could be talking about this kind of thing for years, but thank you for that donation. Nicole donated £15 again, so thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello Phil, I hope all is good for your objectives. Take care and positive week. Hugs, cheers. So thank you again for that, Nicole. And another one from Nicole for £15. Thank you again. The message is, hi Phil, good week and positive things. So thank you, Tammy, as well, who has donated £10. And that is a straight up donation. So thank you for that, Tammy. Bridget has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Bridget. The message is, catch up for me again tonight. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who wished me a happy birthday on the last live stream, and congrats on reaching 360,000 followers. So thank you for that, Bridget. And yes, I mean, thank you guys for getting involved and subscribing, hitting the notification bell, all of that cool stuff, and joining in with these live streams. So we are aiming for a new record tonight of 465. We're at 402. So we've broken the 400 barrier, and we have, what's that, maybe 35 minutes left of the live stream, something like that. So it's a race against time, but maybe we can make it. And it means that we're looking for, what's that, I was going to say 60, so it's going to be now 58, something like that. 50, it's moved over to 408 now, so it now would be 3 less than 60, which would be 57. Okay, that's enough maths for tonight. Right, thank you, Bridget, for that donation. And for you guys watching in the future on Catch Up, if you are like Bridget and part of that Catch Up crew, you can keep on hitting the thumbs up. Really does help the live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. And thanks for hitting that thumbs up, you guys, so far. We'll keep an eye on that. We are getting close. I think we might have time on our side, but we will see. Fingers crossed. Right, there's been another donation that's come through from Debbie. So thank you for this. It's £10, and the message is, hi Phil, congrats on 360,000 subscribers. Loved the Somewhere Over the Rainbow analysis. Others give this song a try, but Judy owns it. Great job on this video. You are amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And I mean, it's got to be one of the most covered songs ever, but with the modern recording techniques, like I've already said, hearing it performed how it was back then is going to be a very rare thing because of the industry standard of pitch correction. But anyway, Vera has donated £11 and 62 pence. Thank you for that, Vera. The message is, hi Phil, just a little something for giving me something to look forward to on Tuesdays and Saturdays. You are a very special and unique man. Hugs, Vera. So thank you for that. And another one has come through. This is Glenn, who has donated £3 and 85 pence. So thank you for that, Glenn. And the message is, your good work. So thank you for the kind words as well. And Karen has donated £2 and 31 pence. So thank you for that. Karen, the message is, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 360,000 subscribers. I loved your Judy Garland analysis. Just a bit of trivia. Judy stood 4'11". She might have been tiny in size, but definitely not tiny in talent. Thanks for all you do, Karen. So thank you for that. And yes, I knew that she was obviously not tall, but 4'11". I didn't know that she was quite that small. So this is the weird thing about heights, is that you never really, it's really difficult to tell tall people and short people, and especially with, TV footage and, musicians, for example, on stage and all this kind of stuff, that you never really know how tall people are. And I know that certainly from movies, and this is something that, knowing Clint Eastwood, I think is like 6'5" or something. But then again, actually, having said is and was, I know that throughout your life people can shrink between 3 to 5 inches, something like that. It's something dramatic because, yeah, you can lose height, obviously, because of gravity. But anyway, and osteoporosis, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so Clint Eastwood, I think, was like 6'5", maybe even taller than that. But I think in his movies, because of the way that they're shot, when you've got somebody who's really tall and you've got somebody who, I mean, even average height, so somebody who might be, yeah, kind of 5'11", if they're in the same shot, the person who's 6'5" is now not going to frame the shot correctly because you'd have to zoom out. You can't do. You have to get them standing on a box if you want to do a close-in shot. So this is something that I noticed about a lot of Clint Eastwood movies back in the day, the old westerns. He was acting with really tall people all the time. So yeah, that'll be a bit of a shock if you don't know how tall anybody is. And then it'd be like Land of the Giants when you go to meet them in real life. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you for that. I always find these things interesting because, yeah, you only get an appreciation of the real person when you meet them in real life. Height is just something that doesn't really register. Or at least it doesn't for me. When I'm watching TV, I can't really place people's heights very well. But anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And there's been another donation. So, Carl has donated £5. Thank you for that, Carl. And the message is reviving the old Cross the Pond Fund. So thank you for that, Carl. And yeah, just an update on this potential visit over to the USA and playing with Taj Farrant. It might be something that, I mean, the longer that it goes on, then the less likely it becomes from, well, a travel perspective from my point of view, getting a visa and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit borderline now. So it looks like it might not happen just because, yeah, things haven't been able to be nailed down. And this is always the case. I mean, the case with a lot of the things that I do on the channel, just being able to nail down a schedule just to have a video call with somebody is often, almost impossible to do. So yeah, just organising, scheduling in a live performance is, yeah, very, very difficult. So yeah, it looks like it might not be happening. Obviously, it's not definitely done yet, but I'll let you guys know as soon as it is either going ahead or whether it's just something that we'll work on in the future, because I know that Brandon has got an idea to bring Taj over to the UK, most likely in 2025, and yeah, he's asked me about being involved in terms of helping organise that with venues here in the UK. So yeah, there will be something that happens in the future, whether it's the near future or, obviously for me, it's a lot more convenient if Taj is over in the UK, because then I can get involved not only organising, but from a musical perspective as well. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Carl. And Melissa has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Melissa. And that is a straight up donation. And Diane has donated £15.41. So thank you for that, Diane. And that's another straight up donation. So we are up to date over on PayPal. Just quickly, Ed C has donated $5 as well. So thank you for that, Ed. And this is Ed's third super chat donation. So thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, do you make a living from YouTube or do you have another job? So I used to teach guitar. That's the thing that I did for almost 20 years. And once things started picking up on YouTube, I actually already had a Patreon website and had my patrons over there. So I was doing cover videos and my original music, my album, which is at wingspegasus.com/music. It's also on iTunes and Amazon, and I've got the merch as well. So yeah, there's lots of things that I do that are, I guess, revenue streams from downloads of my original music. I own my publishing rights as well, which means that anytime my song is used, the company called TuneCore chase that up and get the royalties that I'm owed for that. So yeah, I have my music side of things and my YouTube side of things, my patrons, as I always say, the foundation of everything that I do. So yeah, I've got multiple kind of streams because I do everything myself. I think people might not necessarily appreciate that is the case, that when I say I do everything myself, I literally mean it, which is a lot of work, but it means that everything comes back to me. So if it is, album sales, downloads, and I sign albums and send them off myself, and any royalties, they come straight back to me. Merch sales comes to me. So the thing about the merch as well, that's spring.com, and they do it in such a way. I used to actually order all of the t-shirts and do the t-shirts myself, but as you can imagine, when things started to become a little bit more popular and lots more people ordering, I couldn't keep up with it. So now it's spring.com who take a percentage, and that's the merch side of things. So the other thing is that on YouTube, a lot of people don't realize that when you feature other people's music, like an analysis video, they copyright claim the video and take the ad revenue for you using their video. So I do occasionally get emails from people saying, I want to do a podcast, or I want to set up a channel where I'm looking at, old performances and all that kind of stuff. And they say, how do you deal with the copyrights? And I say to them that if you're doing it to try and make money, you're not going to make any money featuring other people's copyright material, because that's how it works. And this is why there are adverts on the videos, and sometimes there are loads of adverts on the videos and my analysis videos, because the owners of the song that, say for example, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that gets copyright claimed. And if it should just be copyright claimed as the original, because Kelly Clarkson's cover of it shouldn't be a separate claim, because they have to, the original claims from Kelly Clarkson's performance. But anyway, so it means that as soon as I upload the video, that gets copyright claimed. And I'm not going to make any money from the video. And that's going to be the case for everything, pretty much. If it's a well-known song, then somebody owns the copyright to that, and it will get copyright claimed. So in terms of getting copyright blocked, it's rare that happens, but I know that some people have had their video that I've looked at, for example, doing an analysis video, I've looked at the performance and it's been on somebody else's channel who might not be a very big channel, but the record label haven't noticed that it's been uploaded. But then they might watch my video and then see where the original video is being hosted, and then they have taken that video down from that person's, or removed it, or blocked that video on their channel. So I can't comment as to whether that would happen on smaller channels. All I know is that because I've got quite a lot of subscribers now, it's in their interest to make money from my videos, and that's why they don't block them maybe as much as they might do if somebody was just setting up a channel and decided that they wanted to show lots of videos of other people's music. So it's not something that you're going to get rich doing, but I never started out to do it like that anyway. I was just literally doing it to point out things about performances, to help people learn about live performance, the voice, playing guitar, all that kind of stuff. So thank you for that donation. But this is what I do full time. So all of those different things that I've mentioned, I'm spending every day now answering emails and doing all that kind of stuff, as well as the business proposals. I don't do a lot of sponsorship stuff on my channel, but I get through all of those emails as well. So this is what I do on a day-to-day basis. So thank you for that, Ed. And David has donated $2. So thank you for that. And the message is, thank you, as always, Phil. And thank you, David, as always. Right, we will be jumping into tonight's cover video. Let's have a look. And it is The Power of Love that has 54% of the vote. Oh, Jan has just jumped in there with a donation of 20 Norwegian kroner. So thank you for that, Jan. And the message is, people here wonder how tall you are. I'm 5'11". So thank you for that, Jan. And yes, I'm 5'11" as well. I think it's 180. I'm not even sure. Whether that's right. I think it's, from what I remember, it's 180, whatever that is. And whether 180 is close to 5'11", I suppose I could type it into Google and have a look. But that's what I am. Obviously, if I'm this is it. If I can get some cowboy boots on, maybe with a nice heel on them, then I look a little bit taller. But this is something that, again, about heights. Even though, I don't know, people say about, oh, I'd love to be tall or love to be taller. But I don't know. I think there is a cut-off point to height where when I meet people, I think the first thing that they think isn't like, oh, he's tall or, oh, he's short. I'm kind of just where a normal person is, or like I'd say maybe average. So I'm quite okay with that. But there are people who, like, say, for example, if you are 6'5" or you're 6'6", the first thing people think is, oh, you're tall. Yeah, rather than just saying hi, they'll say, you're tall. It's like, oh, yeah, hi as well. Yeah, and exactly the same, maybe, if you're shorter. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with, where I am height-wise. I think, well, would I like to be taller? Maybe, but it's not a deal breaker because actually, I remember this, I got spotted, and I got spotted out in my daily life. This was actually at an airport, and somebody came up to me and said, oh, are you the guy from YouTube who does the YouTube videos? And I said, oh, yes. I said, oh, great. Somebody said that, it's the tall guy with the long hair. And I thought that's the first time I've ever been referred to as being tall. But there you go. I'm not tall. I'm not tall at all, but I'm kind of in the right kind of place. I wouldn't, complain about it at all. But tall. So thank you for that yarn. So there we have it. Right, we are going to be jumping into that cover video, and it is still The Power of Love that has, I think, the majority of the vote. Yeah, it was 53%. So thank you guys for voting for that. And I can see that Juicy said I wanted to be tall like my sister. So thank you for that. Karen says, does he mean 180 centimeters? So yes, 1.8 meters. So I think that's right, 180 centimeters, because that's what I see on whenever you type something in about somebody's height, it always says centimeters. So that's what I started to just know that I was that amount of centimeters. But I don't know whether the centimeters and the feet and inches correspond exactly. So that's just why I say it's that, whatever that is. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, as for wanting to be as tall as my sister got the height genes in the family because she's just ever so slightly shorter than me. I say shorter, she's tall for a female. I would say she's definitely above average. She's like, I think, just under 5'10", if not maybe 5'10". So it means that if she's got a couple of heels on, a couple of inches worth of heel on, then she's going to be 6 foot, which I would consider that to be quite a tall female. And of course, it means that, if she's wearing heels and I'm attending anything with her, then I have to try and stand up as tall as possible. Maybe get out some cowboy heels and stick those boots on. But this is why maybe, if my sister has heels on and say she had 2 or 3 inches worth of heels, they would look at her and I might be a little bit shorter. And they'd think, oh, he's shorter than his sister. But they don't know that my sister's like 6'1", in that particular picture. So this is why it's really hard to gauge and judge. But she's certainly tall for a girl or a female. I don't know what the average heights are, but thankfully I'm just ever so slightly taller, so I can at least say that. But she would tower over me if I was just barefoot and she had some heels on. So anyway, let's get back to this cover video. The Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News, my version of it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! make a bad one good, make a wrong one right. The power of love that keeps you home at night. Don't need money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. First time you feel it, it might make you sad. The next time you feel it, it might make you mad. But you'll be glad, baby, when you found there's a power that makes the world go round. Don't take money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden, and it can be cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. They say that all in love is fair, yeah, but you don't care. But you know what to do when it gets hold of you. With a little help from above, you feel the power of love. You feel the power of love. Can you feel it? Don't take money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Tougher than diamonds and stronger than steel. You won't feel nothing till you feel the power, just the power of love. That's the power, that's the power of love. You feel the power of love. You feel the power of love. You feel the power of love. And there we have it. My sudden ending, my version of The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News, of course, from Back to the Future. So, yeah, one of my favourite movie franchises, if you can call it that. So, there have been some donations over on PayPal, so I'll quickly get into those because we have hit the target of 465 likes for tonight. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. You can keep on doing that now. If you haven't done it so far, we massively appreciate it. But you can do that if you're watching in the future as well, if you're watching on catch up. So yeah, amazing. New record for a Tuesday night. Of course, we'll be aiming therefore for a new record next week as well. So if everybody turns up again, then we might be able to get another record next week. So we really do need you guys to turn up and attend to try and get this thumbs up record rolling into next week. We'll be live streaming on Saturday, of course, as well, and aiming for a new record then. So yeah, we're on a bit of a roll at the moment. Obviously, it has to end at some point, but we'll see how we get on. Right, Cynthia has donated £5. Thank you for that, Cynthia. And the message is, hi Phil. Speaking of filming people of various heights, the Monkees is an interesting example. Davy Jones was 5'3", while Mike and Mickey were around 6 feet. Cheers. So thank you for that, Cynthia. And yeah, this is the other thing that I saw something online where it had, how women see heights or something, and it had somebody who was 5'11" next to somebody who was 6 foot, but the 6 foot guy was like really tall compared to the 5'11". But it's like what, that much difference? I don't even know if it's that. So yeah, there's this, it's almost like the difference between 5'11" and then 6 foot is like something massive where yeah, if you just kind of go a little bit on tiptoes, then you'll be there. But anyway, yeah, but certainly 5'3" to around 6 foot, that would be quite significant. So thank you for that, Cynthia. In terms of movies, it must be an absolute nightmare getting people at the same level. Yeah, so I guess that's what casting is for, to get the people that are going to work well, not only as actors, but can frame things or be framed correctly. Tracy has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Tracy. And the message is, we're dying to know, how tall are you? Keep fighting the good fight, and thanks for helping us stay sane in this crazy world. So there you go. I've already given that answer. In fact, we've been talking about it for the last 20 minutes, but I know that these donations sometimes are a little bit delayed. Orlando's donated £10. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, Jeff Conaway was a tall actor himself at 6'5". While filming Grease, Jeff would walk in a way that allowed him to fit the camera frame and appear the same height as co-star John Travolta. So thank you for that, Orlando. And I don't know how tall John Travolta is, or was, or is. I mean, was in Grease, like trying to match his height. But I guess that's that's the problem is, you know, if you are shorter, you know, you could wear like platform shoes if you want to. And there are these, some like heavy metal, like Kiss, for example, but heavy metal bands as well. Sometimes, maybe not heavy metal, they've got a little bit too much attitude to be wearing like platform shoes. So we'll stick with Kiss. But yeah, having, you know, a huge chunk on the bottom of your shoe, you know, that could push you up to what, 6, like if I had one of those, yeah, I could be 6'5" with a massive platform heel on. But if you're tall, how do you stop that from happening? Because it would look like you are hunched over. So yeah, it's very difficult. That being shorter, you can always add height to your feet, but being taller, you would have to kind of walk in a squatted way. Like if you are really tall, it's something that, yeah, it's going to be really difficult to hide if you just want people to talk to you like a normal person rather than always commenting on your height. But anyway, and the other thing is, you know, potentially being, you know, discriminated against for your height, and that works both ways as well. There's a footballer here called Peter Crouch, who's 6'7", and you know, he's very slight as well, which means that when he was playing football, he was kind of, abused from the stands, people shouting things at him just because he was tall. So yeah, I think when you think about it, I'm quite happy just to be where I am. But thank you for that, Orlando. And Sunny has donated £11.56. So thank you for that, Sunny. And the message is, please check out this video, and there's a link there, so I will check that out. But thank you for that donation, Sunny. Right, we have hit the target for tonight, so we're going to be having Phil Jam number, where is it, 132. So thank you for sending this my way, Joe. And I'm going to have to grab what is the Fender Strat for tonight. And Joe says guitar, player's choice. Well, this is the player's choice. Some distortion, maybe reverb too, or volume pedal. Not a shred fest, a vehicle for melody. Don't forget amp mic. Done. And zoom out. Oh, where's the controller? Here it is. Zoom out. That there. Click on link. And pause
if you want to travel
video
with your
for the advert to play through. Right, let's skip that. Click on that. Right, so here we go. I think we are organised. As for the levels, let me know in the live chat room how it sounds. And I didn't even see how long this is. Oh, 7 minutes. Okay, right, let's get on with it. This is cool, dreamy, melodic rock backing track in A minor, and this is from YT Jam Tracks, and that's YT in capital letters, and that's the channel that you guys can go and listen to this from or at. Right, let's have a listen, see what's going on. work. Sounds a little bit heavier than I was expecting. Just trying to get the levels right. That was an accidental, quite nice ending part. Should we go a little bit of wah wah? See what happens with this. Oh, okay. That went quickly. There we go. I had to kind of, do it with a bit of a sudden ending. So there we go. But still quite a nice ending with some keys going on there. That was cool, dreamy, melodic rock backing track in A minor from YT Jam Tracks. That's YT in capital letters. And I would say that actually that was a little bit more upbeat and more of a shred fest than I was expecting. So yeah, maybe I could have gone, but that's just the luck of the draw. Trying to do this guitar wasn't designed for tapping and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we did what we could do, and that was that. So thank you, Joe, for sending me through that particular backing track for tonight. That was Fill Jam number 132. And thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up so that it meant that we could have a jam at the end of the live stream. So we're going to be calling things to a close now. So yeah, I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night and Friday night, of course, and then live streaming on Saturday night as well, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time as always. So if you can join me then, that would be great. And all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and have a fantastic rest of your week. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!